In this video, I'll help you to decide how do you want it to be. Work-life balance. Now this is the 5th video in a series of 5 for people who are up and running in their careers. So let's crack on. My name's David and I'm here to help you to stay relevant and value for the rest of your working career. This whole channel is dedicated to future-proofing yourself. So if that sounds interest and you'd like more content, please subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and we can work together on your future-proofing journey. So, how do you want it to be? Work-life balance. Well, quite often people say to me, do you know what, I just need to win the lottery. But unfortunately, in future-proofing ourselves, that isn't much of a strategy because we really haven't got much control over the situation apart from the fact that we go and buy a ticket. And I suppose you've got to be in it to win it. So there's nothing wrong with having a bit of a flutter, but I don't think it should be one of your main plans and strategies for your career. So I think at this stage of your career, you understand what life is about, what perhaps business and work is about, how organisations work. And it's very much, I see, very important about creating opportunities for you and making the right decisions for you so you can have more choices in the future. And it is about getting that work-life balance. And what I always say to people, it's about having a contract with yourself. Unknown to me, obviously I realise this now, but when I was 16 and left school and went to work for a life assurance company and started out my career, I actually set a contract with myself, which I only really now think about it. And it was that I never want to work weekends. Why? Because I absolutely adored playing sport at weekends. And I used to literally play sport all weekend, sometimes 3 or 4 matches a weekend, mainly football, but just absolutely used to love it. So that was always my contract with myself. And even now, running my own business for over 20 years, I've always had a contract with myself, and most of it is sort of around my children. And I always wanted to make sure that I was there to watch their cricket, their football, their athletics, their netball matches. And I always used to see it as a definition of success. Although I did miss one of their cup finals once, but they didn't need me then. They needed me when they were out first ball at a cricket match playing for a representative team. Or got injured, badly injured, on a very cold day when it's pouring with rain, out running, doing athletics and cross-country running. So I always used to see that was my definition of success, and that was my contract with myself that I'd set for myself. Now, I do appreciate that some people think, oh, that's all very well, but I just want to focus on my career, work all hours that God sends, bring it on, I want to take on the world. And I would say to that, crack on. Give it a go if that's what you want to do. And if that's important to you and that's your ambition and you want to take that route, I wouldn't dissuade anybody of doing it, but just keep reflecting. I've had a great opportunity to, obviously meet lots of people in work and have a lot of friends and in my network. And they like that. I've worked very long hours and very long days and weekends and whatever, and they've done very well out of it and got good materialistic rewards for that, and they're happy with it. And there again, that's a good definition of success. Again, I've worked with lots of entrepreneurs, people who've run all sorts of different organisations and obviously read a lot of entrepreneurial books. And they go on and talk about the sacrifice they've made, in terms of family and friends and whatever. I don't see it as a sacrifice because it was their choice. It was their decision. And they've made what they've made for themselves. And I dare say they absolutely love it. And there again, crack on. I've got nothing but respect for them. But on the other hand, I've also got huge respect for other people who've gone, I don't really want that way of life. There's lots of other things that I want to do. And it's about getting that balance for me that works for me and not having to be totally focused on the work side of things all the time. So we're all different. We've all got different ways of seeing things, but all I'm going to talk to you about is, how do we put ourselves in a position and take opportunities that give us more choices in the future. And that's what we've got to sit and decide. Which way's best? Do I work very long hours now for a certain part of my career? Do I build something, then sit back? there's no right and wrong with this, and there's no right and wrong in the decisions and the choices you make in the book of life. I don't think everyone's written that book of life. Well, perhaps there's an opportunity for us all. That book of life of how it should be, because we're all different. You've just got to, I think though, in the book of life, we should reflect on a regular basis, look at what's around us, and then make those decisions. But remember, no procrastination. Make decisions, make choices, and crack on with whichever direction is best for you. Apart from Sunday afternoon, I always allow procrastination on a Sunday. On the first video of this series, I did talk about the importance of understanding that where you are in your career before continuing in that area or deciding to go out elsewhere because of the financials, before you end up with a mortgage around your neck, certain relationships and other family commitments that you may decide to take on. Because in a few years, if you continue to take on all those commitments, which is a great journey in itself, you've got to be careful that you're in the right career and you haven't just stayed in it because you're getting paid good money and you then get stuck. And please go back to our first introduction video to this series of 5 videos on up and running in your career. So just to summarise then, time is a wonderful thing, but spend it wisely. If you don't decide and work out the best way to spend your time, who's going to do it for you? You knew that was coming. So this has been the 5th video of a series of 5, and all 5 videos about you being up and running in your career and deciding what's going to happen next and which directions to go off on. But if there's any questions, please do get in contact. So we're just going to show a slide of those 5 videos for you to go and have a look at as well, and help you to create those decisions, those opportunities, so you can have more choices in your career. So the first video was an introduction into being up and running in your career, where we talked about the financials and responsibilities of life. The second video was, have I made the right choice in my career, which is a wonderful question, I think, to ask ourselves. The third one is, how do I move job and career successfully and on my own terms? Number 4, which was the last video, how to decide if the job or career you are in will be prosperous for the future. And that really does take a lot of good thinking and action to make sure that you do stay in the right environment. And this video, how do you want it to be? The work-life balance. So as I always say, any questions, please get in contact. More than happy to have a conversation. But please continue to enjoy your future-proofing journey.